Graham. Our penultimate story of the evening is The Ghost in the Classroom by Judith Gunn. Judith is a writer, blogger and knitter. She went to school in Africa, Australia and Brockworth. In the 1980s she wrote the odd radio drama, very odd she says, light biographies and did little ghost writing as well. Now she self-publishes fiction in print and in e-book format. She has recently given up teaching. So, to read The Ghost in the Classroom, please welcome Judith Gunn.
L204 was not a particularly prepossessing classroom. It was separate from the rest of the IT block. It had been the first wired classroom, an early adopter, but now a smart new block dominated the school, filled with clean and well-attached PCs. It was a cold classroom, damp and a little smelly. Paul could not quite define the smell, although he had discovered that the collective smells of lynx and female hairspray did not quite cover that nagging hint of decay in L204. He opened cupboards looking for the source of the odd odour. It emanated, he thought, from one particular terminal, the one next to the printer. Someone had scratched Mr. Evan is the wanker into the plastic desktop. Now more had been added. The original had been struck through and some wank had written, "See me, Peters." Paul chuckled. Mr. Evan had been a bit of a tartar. Paul knew little of him, except his tragic end and his penchant for a tidy classroom. Peters? Oh, Peters is dead, hit and run, and good riddance to bad rubbish. I'd run him over myself, given half a chance, after what he did. Mr. Roberts doodled on his iPad as they suffered a fruitless training day. Paul had spent some of the day trying to exorcise the smell and remove the ever-increasing repetition of the name Peters from various desktops, keyboards, chairs, and for some reason the floor under his desk. What did he do? Peters? Nasty little git. He made accusations, did it at parents' evening, started sobbing at the table in front of everyone, said Evan had fiddled with him during detention. Evan always came in for it from the kids. He was not great in the classroom. And did he? Did he what? Oh, that, God, no. He made the mistake of detaining Peters on his own that day, but we have cameras precisely for that reason. Nothing went on, looked like Peters was asleep for most of it. Father believed him, though, clambered over the desk that evening and thumped Evan, knocked a tooth out. I suppose that's why the poor sod hung himself in his shed, all nice and tidy. He always was tidy, left a note so everyone was clear. What did it say? It just said, "Don't teach." Can't argue there, at least in his case. Kozlowski? Peters? Peters. He had received a reply for every name except Peters. Peters! He's not here, someone said. The penny dropped for Paul. Oh, shit. He thought he had muttered it, but the class heard, and a collective "whoa" growled out from them, accompanied by banging on desks. All right, enough! To his satisfaction, they stopped immediately. Still got it, he thought. Email. Subject. Unmarked register. There are several missing marks on your register for the week beginning 6/12. Please amend. A machine-bred reproach. Typical. Paul phoned again. Lloyd, I'm forwarding this email that is telling me that I have not done my register for Peters. Please, can you remove his name? Well, I'm looking at the register now and I can't see it. Are you gay, sir? What's it to you? Well, you might be a bit weird, sir, like Mr. Evan. The conversation was designed to distract from the task of entering data into Excel. Paul had some sympathy. It wasn't quite the IT syllabus he had hoped to teach. Yes, I am normal and I am gay. Silence. As for Mr. Evan, he was not weird either. He was maligned, viciously maligned, and what happened was tragic. It's on Facebook, someone ventured. What is? That you're gay. It's on all our walls. Well, we'd better find out who put it there. My private life is private and not for Facebook. You did, sir. What? It says you did, sir. There's a picture of you, look. Again, there was a sniggering as other pupils produced their phones and held up the picture, a very private picture of himself and Andrew. Not pornographic, just a self-taken phone picture of them in bed. Happy, a private picture. He was very rigorous with his privacy settings. This was not a profile picture. Snail mail, Mr. Bennett, snail mail. You should try it sometime, the head commented after he apologised for the picture and gave up trying to explain how it might have happened. He liked the Year 7s. They were both easy to scare and easy to please. Settle down, remember the rules of this room. No one switches on until we are seated and tidy, bags under the table, phones off and in bags. Thank you, Georgia. Now, please. Thank you, everybody ready? Good. Okay, start up, but don't open anything until I say turn and face the smartboard when you're ready. He was not prepared for the screaming, the tears, or the terrible, terrible image on every screen around the room, on the smartboard above. There was the grizzled, hanging form of the half-decayed Mr. Evan, a slideshow of gore for 7E. He panicked. He didn't know what to do. He forgot how to switch anything off. He was transfixed by the images, appalled and fascinated, unable to move, until Sophie Linnett fainted. The machines are not networked, the internet is switched off. The only way that could have happened is if someone got in and went round every computer and applied that screensaver. Or you did it. Site management was defensive. Well, we can review the tapes, suggested the head. No, we can't. Camera's broke. I just checked. Oh, you are kidding. Paul was exasperated. Doesn't that tell you anything? It is suspicious, I agree. But you are in the frame, Paul, if not in my mind, then in the class of Year 7 and their parents. The smell was oppressive. It covered him as he set up the camera, connected the router, tested it, switched it on, left the classroom spick and span, locked up, took the key and went home to watch telly. Nothing happened. He poured another glass of wine. He sat down, tore off a piece of pizza and drank some more. The lights went on. Shit, I knew it. I bloody knew it. Someone on a campaign, a relative, some kid, some friend of Peter's or the head. He dismissed the idea, the wine. Where are you, though? The lights are on, but nobody's home. The camera scoured the room, but it didn't cover everywhere. He crept closer, looking for hints of movement. Papers moving, lights on the computers, screens coming on. He got right up close to the screen, investigating each inch. Suddenly, 42 inches high in his face was a face. Angry. He screamed and leapt back, spilling his drink, scattering his pizza. He looked again, nothing there. Oh, that's just a joke. That's just one of those stupid internet scares. Oh, we could do better than that, surely. He looked again. This time the figure was evident in the classroom. An adult, not a student. Someone wearing a suit. He was switching on the computer, the one by the printer. The one near the smell. Paul grabbed his coat, the car keys, and unwisely took another swig of wine. He raged as he drove. He crashed open the door, the alarm screamed, secrecy and stealth seemed irrelevant. The idiot knew he was watching, surely would either wait for a confrontation or scarper. He reached the classroom. The lights were off again. He struggled with the keys, and as he did so, a slight sense of uneasy recognition entered his soul. That face, the face on the screen, wasn't that? The key turned in the door. He hesitated. Was this wise? Probably not. He switched on the lights. Nothing. No one. Bugger. The classroom was as it always was. Cold, smelly, normal. Never mind. He had the evidence. Evidence on computer. He felt cold and suddenly stupid. He'd been duped. He turned to leave, but the computer by the printer kicked into life. A remote switch on? The screen lit up and tempted him closer. It was typing, repeating text. The printer whirred into action. It made him jump. The words grew bigger on the screen, animated like a tag cloud. 2 words he knew. He peered closer. The words danced, demanding. The printer started to print. That face again, sudden, filling the screen, angry, malevolent as never before. This had gone too far. It wasn't just a bad joke, it was some form of stalker, a stalker who looked like the decayed vision of... whatever. Time to end it. Time to switch off the computer and report it all to the police. He reached out to the PC to shut it down. It was live. It shunted him full of 240 volts. He was gripped by it, contorted into a helpless scream. The printer printed. The paper spat out and floated to the body, still contorted, still switching. And on the paper, in capitals, "Don't teach."